One of the most horrific cases of child abuse was in the courts this week. 24-year-old Kristine Clark of McKeesport pleaded guilty to killing her 17-month-old son, Andre Price III. She sent the boy's father videos of the abuse and the killing.
It highlights the problem of child abuse and the need for prevention. Kristine Sorensen is here with this Kidsburgh story on what's being done today. Kristine.
Well, Susan and David, stories like the death of baby Andre and the abuse of his 2-year-old sister who survived are heartbreaking. Child abuse is a real problem, but awareness is the start of prevention. Blue flags are planted up and down Grant Street downtown, 4,693 to be exact, each one representing a child abused in Pennsylvania in just the past year. 40 black flags symbolize children killed by abuse.
Unfortunately, we have entirely too many flags, and the goal really is through awareness raising, through giving people concrete steps they can take to get involved and to tell them it's okay to get involved. We must. You may be the one person who saves a child's life. Our goal is to reduce the number of flags.
Angela Little, president of the Pennsylvania Family Support Alliance, instigated this inaugural ceremony in downtown Pittsburgh to honor the lives lost and impacted by child abuse.
I will worry about tomorrow when tomorrow comes inside.
I was honored to serve as Master of Ceremonies of the emotional event. 2 children read stories of each of those killed as other children removed birthday presents from this giant cake.
At 4 months old, I was a baby girl who barely had time to see anything in Allegheny County. I think I would have really enjoyed riding that incline to the top of the hill to look at all the beautiful skyscrapers in Pittsburgh. Tell me what they're like.
4 years old. That says for a baby boy growing up in Butler County. I wanted to turn 5 so bad because then I could high five everybody I met, but I didn't make it.
Dr. Mary Carrasco received the Legacy Champion Award for her career dedicated to protecting children, including founding a children's place. And Kristen Glass was honored for her work at Jeremiah's Place, a crisis nursery. It's for parents who need help watching their kids, whether it's to go on a job interview or they're just overwhelmed and desperately need a break.
We do receive phone calls from parents who say, it's just me and my child, and I can feel myself getting really stressed out, and I'm not sure what's going to happen next. Can you help me? And of course we say yes.
One major goal of the ceremony and these blue flags representing children who've been abused is to move people to take action if they suspect child abuse.
If you think a child isn't safe, you don't have to investigate that. You don't have to be 100% right. There are paid professionals who are trained to investigate safety and well-being of kids. What you need to do is call Childline at 1-800-932-0313.
And again, that number is 1-800-932-0313 at the bottom of your screen. And you can get more information on training on how to detect child abuse from the Pennsylvania Family Support Alliance. And we have a link at KDKA.com/Kidsburgh. We'll also link you to Kidsburgh's website where you can get a lot more information for help for parents.
Oh, it's heartbreaking, some of those
It
stories.
is. Oh,
yeah.
I was really choked up.
And I think sometimes people are reluctant to speak up. Whenever they see something, they think, well, that's none of my business. When should people always say something?
If you think you've seen something, you're not sure, but it sticks with you, it's in your gut that something's telling you that something's not right, it's definitely time to speak up. And, this happens in all types of communities, anywhere. So we hope that this story will encourage people to speak up.
We absolutely do.
All right, thanks so much.